Hi, it's Mark. I hope you're going to have a great day. Well, me too. I want to have a great day every day. And yet I wake up to reality. We all wake up to reality every day. But yet we meet so many people who aren't. They're living in an artificial world of what they would like reality to be, rather than living the reality that they have. I've heard people say, and I think this is a clever line, you can't pick your own facts. I think that comes from clever politicians who debated that, that people should argue the facts. And I think there's a perception that we often have in life that we can't change our facts. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your relatives. And funny lines like that reinforce that we're hamstrung somehow. I was reading a piece this morning. An elderly writer was marveling. In fact, she can still get out of bed under her own power, but just has no control over what troubles might befall her in days and weeks in the current times we're in. And I think it's very easy to be fatalistic and just think, my life is beyond my control. My life is in the control of society, governments, other people in my life at work, family. The things are just going to stay the way they are. And we fear some kind of catastrophic disaster where all the things that we take for granted or count on are going to be pulled out from under our feet. We won't have a place to live, or a job, or a marriage will fail. The kinds of things that people fret about because those are really catastrophic when they happen. And of course, the thing that we've all been focusing on the last couple of years is, the unexpected onset of some disease you didn't ask for, that you tried to avoid with masks and vaccinations and behavior, and still you got COVID and you get sick. Well, we can't walk around being fearful of life and taste life at the same time. And I'm not saying we should have that youthful bravado of, I'm invincible and I can do anything I want and I won't have trouble, because that is reserved for the young and foolish. And when we were young and foolish, we all did it. But let's talk about reality for the average middle-aged person. Or no, let's make it broader. Let's take from 30 to 90. What can you do in your life? Will your facts be the same a year from now as they are today? I hope not. I hope for you and for everyone that your facts are better, that you got more money in the bank, that you got more free time, that you're having more fun, that all the people in your world are more prosperous and healthier than they are today. We all want all of those things. But that's kind of like saying, I want all icing without the cake. But it's the cake that it's really all about. So what are we doing in our lives to get up every morning under our own power and not be afraid of the world? I mean, whether you're afraid or brave doesn't matter much for most people, because an actuary will come in from a life company and say, you're going to live 93.6 years, or some number that they'll pull out of a math book and tell you that's what to expect of life. But what happens every day, and I've talked about this recently, about our life expectancy and our expectations of ourselves. If I get up every morning and my attitude is that things are going to be exactly the same as they were yesterday, and tomorrow and the day after will be the same, then I'm going to have a self-fulfilling prophecy that things aren't going to change much. But if my attitude is, I'm making changes. I'm making changes every day. I have the power. You have the power to change anything and everything in your life. Most of us won't change much, but I want to dispel the attitude that we shouldn't try to change everything. And I'm not talking about rearranging the furniture and painting the walls, though sometimes that's a nice change up to rearrange the furniture. But if we give up on ourselves, we give up on our spirit, it's sending a message that we give up on other people too. I had a personal moment yesterday. I was driving home from the office and I was catching up on calls, as I often do, from the car. And I called Charles. And Charles hasn't been well. And I could tell at the moment he answered the phone, because he's a normal pick it up on the first ring or two kind of guy. And it was ringing a long time. And just his voice had low energy, sounded like he was sick, and he wouldn't get into the details, but clearly he's not well. But he's shut in. COVID has kept him, because he's got lots of health problems and he's older. He's been very careful with his health and he's dodged the COVID bullet so far, but he's not well. And it was easy to tell his spirits were low. By the end of the conversation, I sensed his spirits were higher. I don't know why. Maybe it was something I said. Maybe it was the fact that I called him at all. So there's a little initiative we can all take. Who have we not talked to for a while? Who's at home, maybe shut in, maybe not doing well? But let's pick up the phone. Hey, can I come over? Can I bring you something? If you can't come out to meet me for coffee or lunch, can I bring something to you? And when you do that, I think you bring something else. You bring your spirit, your intention, and your attention to someone to help them up a bit. My life has changed a lot in the last few years, and it changes daily. There's a surprise around every corner, and sometimes it's a freight train. But no, seriously, we all have difficulties, but that's an attitudinal thing more than a real thing. I think for a lot of us, we have opportunities every day. We have opportunities to come up with ideas, to try new things, to experiment, to risk. What's the most we could risk? We could risk our life and everything we have. Well, open the obituary page on any newspaper any day, and you'll see some people who would kill for another day, or another week, another month, to risk everything they have, because now they have nothing, they're gone. And that's the harshness and reality of life. It's going to end when it ends. And you've either used it well or you've wasted time and effort and energy. So if you do nothing else as a result of this talk, if you do no other thing to change your life, I've not given you any inspiration to try or do anything. Do one thing for me, please. Do one thing. Pick up the phone and phone somebody you've been out of touch with for a long time. Someone who might be in the backwater of life. They might be sad, they might be depressed, and they'll be alone. And they need your attention. They need you to pay attention to them. They need it. You need it. This is good for the giver and the taker. Don't wait for the world to call you. Call the world. Don't wait for the world to beat a path to your door. Go out and carve your own path. And those are big picture concepts that we like to translate to individual action. Anybody who sat in a sales conference or a motivational talk knows that. But I'm talking about something just more simplistic, more basic, that you pick up the phone and you call somebody and engage them in a conversation that's about them, not about you. What's going on with them? How are they feeling? What can you do for them? And then do something for them. Take them for a car ride. Take them a coffee. Do an errand for someone. Visit with somebody. Or just agree to catch up on the phone more often. You can do that for someone. And yeah, you'll feel better. You'll have a better day. You absolutely will if you do something like that for someone. But that's not the reason for doing it, is it? It's because you want to help someone else and lift someone else. I hope you have a great day wherever you are, whoever you are. The planet continues to spin and people continue to live their lives. It's not as bad as you've heard. It's not as bad as the headlines. It's great. It's wonderful. Not for everybody every day, but we've never lived in a better world. We've never lived in a safer world, a cleaner world, a healthier world, and we've never had life expectancy like we have today. So I won't make any funny symbols with my fingers that I can't do, but live long and prosper. Yes, be happy, be well. Have a great day. It's Mark Kolke. Have a great day. Bye-bye.